Good evening, one and all present here today. I, Smriti Chhetri, Public Relations Officer, the ICFAI University, Sikkim, would like to welcome all the dignitaries present here today to this press conference held for East Zone VC's Meet 2022-23. I would like to welcome Professor Suranjan Das, President AIU and Vice Chancellor, Jadavpur University, Professor G.T. Sharma, Vice President AIU and VC USTM Meghalaya, Dr. Mrs. Pankaj Mittal, Secretary General AIU, Dr. Jagannath Patnaik, Vice Chancellor, ICFAI University, Sikkim, Lieutenant General Dr. Rajan S. Grewal, Vice Chancellor SMU, and Dr. Satish Kumar, Vice Chancellor SRM University, Sikkim. I would like to welcome you all once again to this gathering. The East Zone VC's Meet, the theme for the East Zone VC's Meet is Pedagogies and Use of Technologies for Transformative Higher Education, which is being hosted by the ICFAI University, Sikkim this time. Now, I would like to hand over the mic to the Secretary General, Dr. Mrs. Pankaj Mittal.
A very good evening to all of you and welcome to this press conference. First of all, let me thank Professor Patnaik for holding this press conference in such an elaborate manner. And as you all know that this press conference is being held because the Association of Indian Universities, which is an association of 921 universities. So we have around 1100 universities in our country, out of which 921 are the members of AIU. So Association of Indian University holds the Vice Chancellors Conference every year on a different theme, and what we do is that we hold one main Vice Chancellors Conference in which the Vice Chancellors of all the universities in the country are coming. That will be held in March in Meghalaya in the USTM University. This is the East Zone Conference because before we hold the main conference, we hold zonal conferences. 5 zonal conferences are held, and this is the East Zone Conference in which all the states of Northeast are included, and then apart from Northeastern states, we have Bihar, Jharkhand and some portion of Uttar Pradesh. So the Vice Chancellors from all these states will be coming to the conference tomorrow and day after, and this time the main theme is transformative higher education, that how the higher education is going to transform in view of, say, National Education Policy 2020. And as a sub-theme to this, we have kept for this particular conference the theme as Pedagogies and Use of Technologies for Transformative Higher Education. So the purpose is that what type of pedagogies are used in higher education, in which how do we use the technology. So we'll be having 3 different sessions. The first session will be on innovative pedagogy and lifelong learning, second will be on blended learning, and third will be on personalized learning through edu-technology. So this press note will be with you, which will give the details of all the 3 sessions. And the purpose is that if we want to implement NEP, the foremost is that the teachers should be teaching in a innovative manner using the technology. So you must have seen that the UGC is issuing many circulars on use of technology for assessment and evaluation, for teaching learning, for personalized learning. But the teachers have to be trained for that, because unless we train the teachers for using that, it will not be possible for the teachers to use the technology for innovative pedagogy. So that's why this particular conference, the theme is this one. And I'm happy to inform you that the Honorable Governor of Sikkim, Shri Ganga Prasad ji, is inaugurating the conference. Along with him, the Honorable Education Minister of Sikkim will also be there. Tomorrow in the morning, the inauguration will be there. I am sure all of you would be there. And day after, on 14th in the afternoon, we will be having the valedictory session. And in the valedictory session, we will be having the Governor of Orissa as a chief guest, Professor Ganeshi Lalji. He will be the chief guest. And apart from that, there will be Shri Arun Kumar Upreti, who is the Honorable Speaker of Sikkim Legislative Assembly, and the guest of honor will be Upendra Tripathi ji. He is the principal advisor to the Chief Minister, Government of Orissa, and then there will be a special guest also. So all these details are there in the press note, so I need not give the names of each and every person. So the main theme of the conference is to inform the teachers that what all new pedagogical techniques are there, how can they use the technology to improve the pedagogy, and how to use technology, for example artificial intelligence, for personalized learning. Because nowadays what is happening is that a class size is say 50 to 80 or 100 sometimes, and each student is having a different level of understanding, but the education which we are giving is same for everybody, which is not correct. So manually it is not possible for the teacher to give attention to each and every student, and depending upon his or her level of learning they can be accustoming their lecture. But with technology, with artificial intelligence, it is possible that we go in for personalized learning. Means whatever is the need of each student, that is taken care of, and the lectures or the whatever curriculum is transacted, it is transacted in such a manner so that every student understands that what is being taught in the class. So these type of many things will be there, and there will be very interesting sessions, and there will be very good experts from all over the country who are coming for this conference, who will be speaking in this conference. There are many vice chancellors who are coming, around 80 vice chancellors are coming for the conference, either in an online mode or in the physical mode. We will also be releasing the University News. University News is a weekly journal of AIU, and a special University News is published as and when a conference is held. So the special edition of University News will be published. Dr. Rama Devi, who is the editor of the University News, she is there. So this is the total program. I will now request Professor Suranjan Das, who is the president of AIU. And when I say president of AIU means he is the senior most vice chancellor of the country. Senior most in terms of number of years he has served as vice chancellor in different universities. So he is the senior most vice chancellor of the country. He is the president of AIU. The second senior most is the vice president. So Dr. G.D. Sharma is the second senior most vice chancellor of the country. He is the vice president of AIU. So first I'll request Professor Suranjan Das to speak, and then Dr. G.D. Sharma, or you want to?
Thank you. Could I first a very big thank you to Professor Patnaik for hosting this AIU East Zone Regional Vice Chancellors meeting. Could I also thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor SRM, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Manipal University for being with us today in this very important press conference, which is a prelude to the conference that will be held tomorrow and day after tomorrow. I need not add much to what Dr. Pankaj Mittal, who is the guiding force behind the functioning of the AIU, has said. I'd just like to make 2 or 3 points. One is that all over the world, and India is no exception, in the post-COVID period, there has been a paradigmatic shift in the teaching learning process, where the earlier mode of teaching through direct contact mode, where the teacher used to see eye to eye to a student and give lectures, delivers lectures, and there was a personalized contact. More and more we are going in for hybrid mode. More and more we are relying on education technology, and therefore the notion of new pedagogy is becoming of paramount importance. This is particularly so because within India itself, we are higher education system in the country, as a result of the new education policy, is also in a transformative mode. So therefore pedagogy is the most important thing today. Mere use of technology is not enough, but how we use technology, to what purpose we use technology, that becomes important, and therefore pedagogy comes in. As you know, President Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, he was also the president of AIU, and in one of his speeches about what the education should be, he made a very pertinent comment. He said the main aim of education should be to instill creativity among the students, so that they are aware of what is happening not only in the campus but outside the campus, and so that they are fully equipped to face any odds in their own life, and also to help the country and the world to face any odds in the future. And this particular notion of Radhakrishnan becomes more and more important as we go in for new pedagogical modes, where we have to strike a fine balance between the use of technology and also personalized learning. At the same time, we are also thinking of developing the knowledge base of the Indian society in a more broadened way. We have, as we all know, Western education was introduced in our country through the paradigm of colonialism. But now we are thinking in a way so that we break the shackles of colonialism and try to develop and sustain and regenerate, recreate, rediscover what we are now calling the indigenous sources of knowledge. So what is now required is not modernity through westernization, but what is now required is to strike a balance between tradition and modernity. And in doing that, again, new pedagogical modes are necessary. And I'm sure all these issues will come to the fore when the experts from all over the country will be addressing this very theme, which remains at the core of transformative higher education system in our country. Thank you very much.
Dr. G.D.
Good evening to every one of you and our Honorable President Professor Suranjan Das has elaborated more on this today's East Zone VC's conference, and what I personally feel that AIU is having 5 zonal Vice Chancellors meeting, which will be discussing different aspects of the transformative higher education to become Atmanirbhar, that how the India can be more self-reliant, and using this self-reliance, how it can play a major role on indigenous knowledge system. To do so, now the higher education is going in a transformative way. As you are aware that the UGC, AICT, NCT will be merged, and the Higher Education Council of India will be created, under which there will be now general education along with the skill education with professional and Indian knowledge system. So these 4 components will make the holistic education, which will create more flexibility for the students to select the courses as per their potential and also interest and choice. So under this NEP 2020, all these things will be available to the students. So far, as per UGC regulation, up to 40% this choice has been allowed. Now when 40% choice has been allowed, that means the universities can utilize the strength of each others, as well as they can utilize the facilities from both, from any good institute of India or even abroad. That is why a number of suggestions have come out for the dual degree, the joint degree and the training degree. So this NEP 2020 is providing more opportunity to students for multiple entry exit, the 3 years and 4 years degree program. To do PhD, they can also take up job anytime during this their graduation, and therefore such kind of flexibility which was not there earlier is a part of the system. Because of so much now flexibility and also the transformation which is going to take place in Eastern Zone, as has been told by our Honorable Secretary General Dr. Pankaj Mittal, that Association of Indian Universities is the biggest association in the world as far as higher education system is concerned, and therefore it is always taking those issues which are directly related to the socio-political and economical development of the country, and to create the competitive talent of our country so that they can be the global citizen. Global need of the new human resources can be provided, being the India being one of the youngest country to have the maximum youth, more than 50% youth of the below 25 years of age. That means India is to provide the human resource to all over the world with having much more cultural assimilation, the knowledge as well as ability to solve the problem of the society. So far, we are giving knowledge-based education, but now this type of the conference is going to bring major shift to include other aspects of the education, which will make the students more productive, as well as Professor Das told, that they will be more creative, and also they can develop their own incubators and startup. This has in fact already been started, and India has emerged now one of the fastest incubator producing, the fastest startup producing. Even the US has become second and India has become first. It is all because of the new education policy, and our association has taken very much different initiatives which are giving the opportunity to all the educational institutions, and also providing the suggestions to the government of India through our various meets and also through various trainings and opportunities. So I am sure that Professor Patnaik, who has taken this lead to organize East Zone Vice Chancellors meet, where these different aspects of the pedagogies, which is, as has been mentioned, is very important, will be a very, very transformative way of learning system. The students will not only be depending on the teachers, but they will be developing the self-learning property which they can also learn from different sources, whether it is from online courses, whether it is using the MOUs, etc. So different ways of learning will also get encouraged. Since ICFAI is one of the leading university in this region, we will be also bringing out more opportunities for other universities to collaborate, and also how the strength of each others can be utilized to give more opportunity to the students. Thank you very much.
Could I add to the point that Honorable Vice President of AIU has mentioned? You know, all over the world, there is now an emphasis on holistic knowledge rather than specialized knowledge. I mean, for example, when we were students, a person taking history honors would have no opportunity to study mathematics or statistics. But now, there is this possibility. Even the students pursuing engineering or technical courses, they have to study some courses in literature, social sciences, humanities, etc. Besides, today itself, the UGC has released the new curriculum framework of the undergraduate course, where the students who would be opting for honors courses would have to study for a 4-year period. Now, this therefore means a new pedagogic approach. The syllabi has to be changed, the teaching learning process has to be reformed, examination system has to be revamped. So, this pursuit of holistic knowledge, as Professor Sharma mentioned, is crucial for the development of a new teaching learning methodology in higher education. And therefore, once again, pedagogy becomes more important. Of course, we would be using the education technology, but education technology cannot be an end in itself. It is to be a means to an end, and that means to an end means new pedagogy has to be developed, so that creativity amongst the students develop, so that students becomes more inclusive, so that the students can question and be creative, which alone can lead to the development of a vibrant civil society. And unless you have a vibrant civil society, democracy cannot be sustained. So therefore, pedagogy is becoming more and more important, particularly in the context of the the new curriculum framework for the undergraduate level that the UGC has released today.
And you can judge the importance of the meet from the fact that two governors are coming. The education minister himself is coming. The principal education secretary is coming. So that shows the importance of the meet. Now I'll request Professor Patnaik, the Vice Chancellor of ICFAI.
Good evening to all of you, and thank you for accepting our invitation for this press conference. It's a great moment of our pride that the East Zone Vice Chancellors meet is held here. And I must thank Honorable President and Honorable Secretary General for giving us this opportunity to host this Vice Chancellors meet. More than 135 Vice Chancellors of the East Zone are joining us either online or in the physical mode, and mostly about 42 Vice Chancellors have arrived as on date. And as you are all aware of that, Sikkim is the first state which has brought the Sikkim State Education Reforms Commission, and where all the Vice Chancellor of our regional state are the members of the commission. And the whole idea of setting up this commission is to discuss NEP 2020 prior to its implementation. So this is the idea which came into my mind to decide to have all India Vice Chancellors meet of the East Zone here in Sikkim. I requested Honorable Secretary General, President, they accepted our request, and we are holding this conference tomorrow and day after. Both the governors, as Madam has informed, are joining us tomorrow, and lot of programs we have after this meet. We have technical sessions between the experts of different education world, and also we have cultural programs in the evening with VIPs, dignitaries from all walks of life. So there will be complete interactions among the VC, among the education secretaries, chief secretaries, and which will go beyond the level of our intellectual thinking in developing a educational model which can bring transformation in the higher education sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now we'll invite the questions, or you would like to speak?
So firstly, on behalf of all the citizens and the students, and of course the governance of our unique state of Sikkim, we'd like to extend a warm and hearty welcome to the distinguished luminaries who have joined us for the media conference today. Professor Suranjan Das, the president of the prestigious Association of Indian Universities, Dr. G.D. Sharma, the vice president of AIU, and the eminent Dr. Pankaj Mittal, the secretary general, and Mrs. Rama Devi Pani, who is the editor and the academic coordinator for this Vice Chancellor's East Zone meeting. And I'd particularly like to mention and acknowledge the praiseworthy role of Dr. Jagannath Patnaik, the Vice Chancellor of ICFAI University, who has anchored this particular event. This is truly noteworthy. It's a momentous milestone for us in Sikkim. यो हामीलाई एकदम गौरवको कुरा छ कि हाम्रो सङ्घ यति एजुकेसन क्षेत्रमा राम्रो जो एक उच्च कोटि स्तरको ल्युमिनरीज यता आएको छ, यो हाम्रो सौभाग्य छ। अरू it is also important to say that this showcases Sikkim as the educational hub of the future. For instance, with 12 universities in a small state like Sikkim, with very high parameters and indices of governance, of education, of healthcare, we will have this particular meeting will also brainstorm on very contemporary and futuristic trends which have relevance to not just our state but the entire northeastern region, the East Zone, and the country. As you all aware, the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam prevails in our rich heritage and legacy of our country from many centuries. And therefore, the world is a global village, and globalization will emerge if we were to leverage technology, if we were to bring in education that is transformative, holistic, and meets the needs of the student, the learner. The student is from the age group of, let's say, early college undergraduate days to lifelong learning. Bringing in EduTech, which is education technology, is going to be a quantum force multiplier. So we would like to express our profound gratitude and acknowledge the yeoman service rendered by the Association of Indian Universities in giving great impetus to high quality learning with research, innovation, and so many progressive initiatives which are truly praiseworthy and worthy of emulation by various countries across the world. So with this, I would say that we would benefit considerably, and ultimately our aim is the benefit accrual should go to the student, the youth of our country, who will be the leaders and the future of our great nation. Thank you once again to the distinguished luminaries over here, and to each one of you media persons to be here in strength and to showcase this great initiative undertaken by the AIU, ably organized by the ICFAI University, with synergy from all the university and higher education ecosystem partners that we have over here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Grewal. Professor Satish Kumar, Vice Chancellor.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me join our colleagues to warmly extend our welcome to the dignitaries, President, AIU President Sir and Vice President, and very active and dynamic Pankaj Mittalji. And it's a very great honor for all of us from Sikkim and all the universities from Sikkim to host this very important meet here. And somebody asked about the question regarding the quality of education. It was a wrong notion. People have gone through that, quality has gone down. If that online education was not have been there was zero quality. 3 years students were without schools and classes and books, and thanks to the online education, we brought them, at least connect them closely through technologically with education. That was one of the important contributions of the teachers. And I'm telling you that during the process, people are even primary school teachers who doesn't know how to write the email, they quickly learned online education systems. And hats up to the people, people forgotten about the teachers. Teachers are the great contributors around 2.5 years. A tough time connecting with the students through technology, which they learned very quickly and taught the students very quickly, and quality comes because there was no zero education, they brought with education. And during that time, that education was teaching. Now new education policy, I join our honorable Vice Chancellors, our dignitaries on this side. Now the whole education policy is turned towards student-centric and learning, teaching to learning. If you are taking the learning as a central focus of the national education policy, now we need technologies evolving in every field. If we do not use that field innovatively in education, we are losing a great opportunity actually. So that is the reason this conference will throw light. Now during that time, the conference was, that technology to education was very crude that time. We had only Zoom and one other meet only. Now quickly AI has creeped into the whole education teaching methods, and people started talking about that, whether people writing examinations also, whether they're moving or how they are doing, recognitions, facial recognition, many things have creeped in actually. Many universities, many vice chancellors, many teachers have already experimented that, and this is the time I think we are going to have discussions, debates and learnings from that, and can we implement or involve and evolve certain good innovative hybrid technologies for the student learning. That's the main purpose of this education, and it was not zero quality, it's a so wonderful quality, no education to went to the some education during that quality, that COVID time. I think this is one thing we have to think about that. And once again I thank all of you and for coming here, and thanks to Jagannath Patnaik, he is leading this meet at Sikkim, and we all are with him, we are helping, and we are as a team, we all are working together to make this conference a grand, memorable meet at Sikkim actually. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. We are indeed grateful to the ICFAI Sikkim University for taking care of this East Zone conference, and then they have made very good arrangements, and the experts are very good. So I really wish that all of you should come to the meet and attend the meet.